Happy Friday. So this is gonna be a short one. I mean, I have to go study some for my rehearsal tonight. So just kind of my Friday update kind of thing, you know. Where am I? What am I doing? What's happening in the world of football game development? So still working on game plan, but I'm getting closer. I think I'm getting closer. I've now got most of my fields allowing me to input data, but as you can see, I'm kind of not quite loading correctly. So I had to load, the load was working, but there's still some bugaboos happening. Something is still triggering some errors. Okay, so I have some formatting that's going on, trying to make things look a little bit more usable to the user. Userable. I'll say userable. And so what you can see here is, yeah, it's still having issues with this one. So it's something to do with how it's loading this data, and I don't know exactly what's happening. Hierarchy, game data, error loading game. Wow, there's a lot of stuff. Numeration operation may not execute. Debug. It's something about how it's, yeah. Anyway, so I'm trying to figure out how. I'm doing two things at once. Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get this image fixed because when I not this one specifically, but I was trying to see how it's set up. See how these images are staying the same shape, and I was trying to say, do they have an aspect ratio fitter? They do not. They have an anchor positioner, which just basically makes sure that they shift around, they move around with the environment. But no, in other words, with whatever's happening on the screen, they're going to move, which is fine. It's exactly what they're supposed to do, and I want them to remain square though. And this one of here, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's what the problem is. It's linked to the other side. I think that's what the problem is. Let's set them at top left. I don't really want it moving necessarily. I'm okay with this one staying on the top left. I just don't want it reshaping it. I was using a percent rec transform, which is wrong. That's for shaping according to the environment. So if I have an area that I want to grow and stay in relation to the area, so like in other words, if the area gets skinnier, then it flattens out. If it gets fatter, then it gets bigger. Allowing for things to kind of stay proportional throughout the screen. And one of the things what happens there is it's meant for things that are going to resize within an aspect ratio. So if it stays the same size and everything grows, I want all my stuff to grow with it. That's what the percent rec transform is for. It's for things to grow with the size of an object and stay proportional to where they are. So they stay in the same place, the same relative position to the image or the border they're in. It's just seems to be more effective because see, this kind of thing doesn't work very well with that. So if something grows, the items inside of it don't proportionally stay where they're supposed to. It tries, but a lot of them break. So the percent rec transform seems to be a lot more better, a lot more performant for that purpose. But I think I had the wrong purpose on that here. So I don't even think I need this one. I put that in there to try too. Let's see if this stays what it's supposed to. So this one isn't affected by growth or shape of the screen. So I could put something on there if I wanted to make it stay the same shape or same size. I think that's what it's going to do right now. It's not going to grow with the screen. And that's what percent rec transform does, but it only works if you stay in an aspect ratio. Otherwise, it warps it. So don't want to warp it. And I don't have my chat. What is today update? So I didn't get much work done today. It's been a busy kind of day. And so today was more about, no, okay, that's not true. I worked a lot this morning on this. But it was one of those things where I had a lot to do today, so I wasn't streaming, and I was just kind of working on layout and getting things to lay out correctly. Let's see if this is gonna. Okay, there we go. It stayed the same shape. We're not getting distorted images anymore. Yay! Progress, man, progress. Every little thing, you know, making sure everything cleans up nicely. So, how are we looking here? Don't have any errors. That's good. I love the way AI will look at something and go, oh, there it is. And then the next line is like, oh, wait, there it is. Oh, wait, no, that's not right. Let me look here. Oh, now I know. This is it. It does that like, it'll say that like 3 or 4 times while it's solving a problem. It's like it comes to a conclusion reading one thing. And if it comes to a conclusion too many times, the more times it comes to a conclusion, the more I worry that it's not going to fix the problem. Because that means it can't figure out where the problem is. So it'll try to fix something, but oftentimes it's not gonna take. Let's see what this does. See, I clicked. Stuff should have happened. No, nothing's happening. I don't know. I'm totally broke. Hello. It might be that something was still going on when I started it. You gotta be careful about jumping the gun on updates here, on testing. Alrighty, where are we at? Alright, we are, okay, so it did load, but we're obviously still getting errors. Yeah, it's having trouble with this one. Let's see, where does it take? Let's see if I can figure out what the heck. AI is struggling with something here. Somebody. Oh. The kid didn't order food. My son. He's always ordering food. And it looks like it's a food delivery or yeah. Guys, must be a pretty big order, so he was. Okay, so let's see here. What is the problem? We got UI. It's blowing up right here, which isn't very helpful. Let's go ahead and, I guess we're going to attach Unity, and we'll have to step through here. So we say fetch the user's game plan, all right. And then something is getting set. And I think what's happening is it's trying to format the data, and it's stumbling over the data formatting because it's triggering something that shouldn't be. So let's go ahead and see what's going on in here. AI can't figure it out, which is the case often. AI, once again, proving that it is not, the I part of it is not as, it's not as usable as you would hope. It always says the root cause was, I figured this out, haha, I did this stuff, the flow is now, blah, 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 but, wait, I don't know what I'm talking about, but I won't tell you that because I'm AI. It does not know how to say, I don't know. Claude is typically pretty good at looking for new ways to solve problems, but some of these AIs are not. ChatGPT is actually really bad at it. It'll give you one or two ideas, but then it just repeats itself. It can't seem to figure out how to find another route. Claude will try a lot of different ways. It'll try all kinds of things. Sometimes the problem with that is it tries things and it doesn't always clean up after itself. When one fails, it doesn't go, oh, well, let's step back and go back and fix that and then try a new thing. I oftentimes have to tell AI, delete your last change, it didn't do anything. Or undo your last change, it didn't do anything. And then try again with something different. It's just so that you don't end up with a bunch of crap. All right, so let's go see where this is failing. Loading game plan, loading indicator. Oh wait, game plan, current user game plan. I don't think the problem is getting the game plan. See, I think we got the game plan. It's right here. And it's probably got all kinds of stuff. Yeah, so it's got data. That is not the problem. Initialize score conditions. I bet you this is the one that's blowing it up. Be willing to bet that's where it's blowing up. I will bet money. And now, this has an air handler, but this in here I don't think does. Yeah. Initialize conditions for game plan. And so I have this thing where I'm doing stuff with the score, and it's stumbling on it. I bet you it's in here. I'm willing to bet money we're going to blow up in here somewhere. Initialize. Okay, so this is going to do the first game plan, which is the only one that has data in it right now, I think. There's no actual user parts here. Game situations. Now we're going to do this loop, and that's the enumeration part that it kind of chokes on. Game plan, game situations, if situation, score condition equals that. Score condition. I gotta put a break in here though, just so that I know that we're this far. So I find where the errors happen. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be here. Score condition. Load from database. Wait a minute. We already have the situation. What are we loading from database? Huh. We already have the data loaded. Why are we loading from database? AI, explain to me why we're going back to the database or something. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's just taking the data and it's calling it load from database. So maybe it's not actually loading. I hope it's not actually loading data from database. Bool is winning equals leading by greater than equal to 0. What is leading by? 0. Greater than or equal to 0. Okay. Okay, so if it's less than or equal to, it's not really leading, but whatever. I don't have ties. When you're doing these kind of things, you don't need a so if winning. Are we getting past that? Okay, so we do get past that, which means we got a differential type. It just basically created a W. What is W less than? Oh. Huh. That's already a problem. That's not the right format for that. In fact, this is not what it's supposed to be doing. W less than. It should be a W less than. I mean, not. It should be a less than symbol, not a less than. Oh, I did put spaces in here. Score differential W less than. Oh, it's an enumerator. That's probably what it is. W less than is the value. It's an enumerator value. Huh. It must be what it is, right? That's what makes sense. All right, what's it doing with it? All right, we're gonna run through this. If that's just the score differential type, that's an enumerator, which we will have to get later. All right. And then, unless we're having trouble with nulls, because system default, team default, and user don't actually have data. Nope, having trouble with nulls. All right. Well, I was wrong about where that was. It didn't blow up there. All right, total active team default situations. We have account. Team default doesn't have any. Get it. And system default count is 13. Okay, so we're good there. And that's just going to load the information. And then we're going to filter and display. So we're having a problem, I guess, in the display because we're leaving this area. It's probably not going to have an issue with that. Just going to log it. And then we're going to go in here. So that wasn't it. Clear container. No, that's fine. Shouldn't have anything in it anyway. This is null. It is weird though, the user plan didn't have, it should have come back with at least a, I mean, team default don't have anything either. Right. Game plan display list. Edit mode user. We are in edit mode user. We are displaying them all. We got a 3, and they're all here, and whatever system default's the last one, so that'd be this one. Yep, we're all good. Still struggling to find where this bug is blowing up. This is an enumeration issue. Let's see where we got the problem here, maybe. So we got game plan, game situation. Determine the game plan based on which object it is. Something's blowing up here. Probably this create situation row would be the only thing, because these are just getting data values. So let's go ahead and maybe in here. So I'm successfully getting the empty row, which means we haven't actually blew up where the data is failing. So that's just a check for the prefab, which should be fine. I don't think that's a problem. Row object instantiate. Game situation row prefab container. We're good there. Again, we're just checking for stuff. Get component. We should have that okay, and that'll be fine. And now we have, as long as that's not null, then this is our game situation. Get field. Set value. See, maybe we're blowing up on the setting the values. So let's go see how many of these successfully can get through. I need to put some more air handlers in, a little deeper in here. Get filled. Bind flags, reflection, game card field. That's just the field. Set value, but what is the value we're setting it to? The row. Game situation row. Delete button. Okay, there's a problem here. This row is not got the right objects. Panel, panel, panel. For one, delete button. Oh, delete button. Never mind. These are out of order. They're out of order the way they're loaded. That's why I thought it was wrong types. To first is a panel. Okay, so we're probably okay. Let's go see what it does. Oh, that's system. So we're not actually setting any actual values. Because it doesn't even tell me what value it tried to set. Binding flags, what the heck? All right, I'm going to leave a break on this one. But all right, so determine if editable. It always shows add button and is editable. Configure. Maybe it's this one. So we have the situation. Game plan type is editable. Show delete. Show add. This. Okay. Initialize field components. Down. Okay, so now we're loading the stuff. New value. That's fine. It's one of these. It's got to be one of these that we're setting here. I don't imagine it's going to be. I have a feeling it's the score. I really do. But I could be wrong, but I think it's the score. Let's see if I'm right, because that would mean min left means these ones are going to be fine. So let's see if I can get through one. Okay. Well, that's not it, like I thought. Well, at least not that one. I mean, it might not be breaking on every row. Well, yeah, it has to be breaking on every row, or I'd have a half-loaded thing. It's just breaking on one. All right, so I think it's this one. If it's one, it's going to be the score. All right, score condition field. Initialize situation score condition. See, I really think this is going to be it. But I could be wrong, but I think it's not wrong. All right. So we are going to pass. We have leading by 0. New data. Convert to database. Initialize field components. See, it has a differential type less than, but there's no less than in here. Score condition. These are the values that are going in, so I guess we have to go in and see what it says. Initialize. Okay, so the current value. See, we have an on value changed. Why are we getting an on value changed? we shouldn't be changing anything on load. So that should always be false, right? Or maybe we're just finding out. I don't know. Now we're going to update the UI. Huh. Okay, it did not blow up on that one. I'm confused, man. I don't know which one it's blown up on. I guess I was wrong about where it's blown up. Well, that's that situation, but that should have been every... All right, and then we hit an error because it blew up. So apparently it does happen somewhere. I don't know where. So I only have like 10, but I have to figure out where this is crashing. One of these things is crashing. You know, I don't know which one. It's something to do in this loop. Oh, this isn't even a loop. It just goes in here and runs. So yeah. Who is blowing up? It's got to be inside of that. Because I don't think I'm getting to this line. It's a situation that's blowing up, not all of them. That's probably why this one looks partially loaded. See, it's got a play type. There shouldn't be a play type. So it looks like we partially loaded. I don't know why it partially loaded, but I think that's the problem. It like got all the way through some of it and then exploded. Dang it. All right, so I got to stop because apparently there's no way to reload. Because when I close this, it goes away. Whoa, what happened there? That's not supposed to happen. Hello. Why are you... You know what? I don't think we're getting to here either. I mean, we are right now, but I mean... Don't know which one of these is the problem. That's weird. How come it formatted that one correctly, but and then my other one didn't format? That's weird. It could be simply because I'm in some kind of break mode and it's tripping it up. I don't know. Because it was, like I said, that doesn't normally happen. Oh, holy moly. All right, let's see. Do I know? Is there any way to know which item is blowing up? Content. Scroll. I have a feeling it's just some game situation row. I don't know. Ryan! Rihanna, come on now. Don't do the Sally thing to me. Don't come in and just start selling. Yeah, I don't think you love my content. You just want to sell me something on Discord. All right. I'm pretty sure Rihanna there not only doesn't love my content, she doesn't even know what my content is. She just wants me to pay her to make something for me. Hey, I can fix your website. I can fix your stream. Your stream sucks. Well, that much is probably true, but that's a different thing. Sorry if my quality of my stream is so bad you think I need to buy stuff. Interesting. Point value 0. Okay. See, we're advancing, that's the thing. So as long as we're advancing, but something else. I wonder if it's a setup. Is it blowing up on setup drop down? No, because the drop downs are loading fine. It's something that's happening after this point. Create game situation row. It's not blowing up on create empty row. It must be blowing up on the next line. I knew it was inside of a loop somewhere because it's complaining about an enumerator problem. Cyber Genius! How goes it, man? It's the latest with you. I am debugging because AI can't fix this one for me, so I'm doing it myself. Trying to figure out where this freaking error is happening. What's triggering this failing? This is usually where it blows up. All right, so we got past that one. So we're getting... Not always. It really kind of depends on what it is. I think if you're doing something that has a lot of iterations, like you're going through, like say you're looking at a lot of data. This is one I'm finding is a problem. If there is a problem with a single line of code, a single piece of data, like say you load 20 lines and like the 5th line has a problem. Those are the kind of bugs AI struggles with because as far as it's concerned, your code works because it worked for the other lines, right? It's not an every line problem. So when it goes and looks at that line, it's like, I don't see anything because it doesn't know how to check the values in your code. What's running through. It doesn't test live data. It only looks at the code. So you have to go through and see, well, what's wrong with the code at this line? You got to figure out what line is tripping it up. And then you can go, oh, this is the problem. We got to make sure we handle this. And then AI can help you fix it once you pin it down. It's kind of what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to go through and find the line of code that is stumbling me, or which piece of information is stumbling the code. And that's kind of what's throwing me off. So like I have this piece of the code here. So I got this play type. See, this is the one that worked. And I think what happens is one of these next ones doesn't work. I don't think I should loop right here. Because once you get to the bottom, you loop. Oh, it didn't loop. So But how did we not loop? Game plans. I had 3 game. Oh, so I have 3. Oh, one. Did I already go through all 3 game plans? No, I don't think I went through all 3. Oh, is it this? Oh, it's this for each that's not looping. Oh, it's blowing up between loops. Oh. Is that what it is? It did 1, flipped around, it blew up, and kicked me out. So it's blowing up in the same iteration. I thought it was this loop it was blowing up in. It's this one, I think. All right. Let's go ahead and hit, let's go to, well, usually I can just trigger it again. Let's trigger it again. So all right, so if that's right, we'll get past here. And then I should come back around to this. I don't know which one is blowing up, but I got to try to figure out which piece of data so I know which one to stop at. Because I don't know which one it is. I'm not hitting these other lines of code. I noticed that. So whatever it's doing. Okay, so this should flip around again. Oh, look, it's not even flip. What the heck, man? How's it not coming back? It goes in once, runs this, it's fine, goes here and dies. Is it dying on the create empty row? See, there's a bunch of rows. See, the problem is, you see my screen here, it's loading up, but it's only loading up 1 line. There's like 10 lines on here. I've had it loading before. So something that I did new, that was a simplification, isn't set up right. I think the problem, let's see, which game plan am I on? This is the system default. This is the one with 13 lines. But this is only for each game plan. So we got if. So this is the situation. We're running through all the situations. We have 13 situations, which is fine. These are all supposed to be loading right now. I should get 13 in my code. And I think this first one is partially loading. And I think this guy is blowing it up. Score condition. That's what I think is happening. I'm almost positive it's this one. Because we actually get to the point where I have this loading. And I don't know why this is loading all out of order like this. I'm pretty sure I don't grab it that way, but whatever. Who cares? I mean, as long as it loads, it just... So that's why everything is there, and then except the score thing blows up and it can't finish the loop. So it might be blowing up, but it gets all the way through here, and then something triggers. I think it might even be triggering... So something in here is blowing up. So I go... And it goes in here fine. And it comes out of there fine. But the question is, why am I not able to loop around here twice? Oh. Nope, that ain't it. Never mind. Continue will quit out of here. It just has to, all this is doing is checking to see if it's an offensive place. I have 13. I may only load like 8 because the other ones might be defensive. But it's still, it loads a bunch. I think it's more like 10. There's only like 2 or 3 defensive plays in there, or defensive situations. So I got to figure out why. Why? We load this row, and it's fine, but something in here trips it up. I don't understand what. I don't really need this. Karama, how's it going, man? It's Friday. No, I'm normally not. I don't like to work this late because I also have to leave in an hour and a half. So I was gonna go for an hour. I've got like, I don't know. I probably can't do an hour. It's already been 40 minutes, and that means 6 o'clock. That means I'm only gonna have a little time to study. I got my rehearsal tonight from my play I'm in. So where's my drink? It was. Oh, I put it in the fridge. It wasn't cold, so I wanted to make it cold. Container's cold. Much better. Right. Now I will be back, probably. I usually come back at night. So my rehearsal is only like an hour and some long, and then my wife goes to bed, usually either before or right after I come home. So I'll usually come downstairs, and that's when I start my game sessions. So that'll probably be for Karama. That's like forever, because it's getting late for you already, isn't it? I mean, you're already like let's see, 4. So it's about midnight. It's midnight 30 to you. So, but no, AI debugging is pretty good. Most of the time for simple tasks. It's just when you have a data problem that it's not very good at. So if I click here, yeah, that blows up. I knew it. So it's got a problem. I think something is tripping a callback, and I think that's why it's blowing up and not showing me the trip up. And it's like it sets it, and then it never comes back. It never loops back around. Because it doesn't even get to this row. And when that it should have hit here. So if that was the last one, no matter what happens, we should have ended up here. So unless something is here, but I trapped it here already, and that didn't hit anything. So I hit once here, F5. And that goes through 3 times because we don't actually have anything in there. There's no situations. And we go there, and that's the second one. The third one it comes through, we're in here. There's no more left. And then when I hit F5, something triggers. We never actually go in or out of this procedure again. So we are definitely broken on this situation. And since it's supposed to be for each, it's the first situation that's breaking, which makes sense because we have one that looks partially loaded. Hey, I appreciate it, but don't put the pressure on me, man. I don't know if I'm the best person to teach, especially since I'm learning a lot of these languages in the same way. I mean, I'm just learning it as I go. So, I mean, I know C#, but I don't know these object models. I don't know Unity all that well. So it's just me plugging away trying to figure it out. So I'm not really able to like teach. I've had a few people come and I can answer some questions. If it's what do you call it, like general coding practices. Yeah, it's like I can help people out with general coding practices and good way to do things, but I don't. Probably couldn't. I wouldn't be a very good teacher, or even examples. Actually, I think that's not true. I think I'm pretty good at writing clean code, but also I'm using AI, so I'm cleaning code. So AI doesn't write the cleanest of code sometimes. So I find myself having to restructure and clean up code a lot. But at least it's mostly done. So, all right. So I got to fix this first problem. I think I have definitely pinned down what the problem is, or where the problem is, but not what the problem is, because I don't know which of these. I feel like something's triggering at this point. we get past this line. I wonder if I could tell. I think what I need to do is, yeah, that's what I'll try to do. Let's try this. All right, so we're going to go out and come back. And we already know that's not it. It's going to come in here. And then I'm going to take this game situation, which, let's go to the watch window. And we're going to go ahead and do this. I'm pretty sure it's a score problem. And hopefully, once I've got that loaded. Oops. I am 99% sure this is blowing up my my thing here. I just sense it. I sense that this is causing a problem. Because all this stuff looks kind of loaded. I have the one which does load. These are null, so they're zeros, which is fine. These are default. That's a less than default. I don't know why I have a null and a less, but null is also this one. So it may have saved that at some point because I was messing around. I did a partial. Leading by. These are all just standard ints. They're not loading, Brad. I have a feeling it's this. It's got to be all right. So. I think W less than is not translating correctly. I bet you, I have a feeling that's something to do with it. I could be wrong, but so now I know this is going to fail because it won't run anywhere else. It doesn't come back through the loop. It doesn't go here. Something triggers. So if I go F10, oops, F10, maybe, hello. F10. Oh, that's because the first two are, never mind. The first two were invalid situations. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. If that's oh, wait a minute. Let's go back here. Let's see. Did that change? Nope. Still W less than. Less than. No. Okay. No, we're right. I'm just making sure I have the right information. Can I make this bigger? Nope. Doesn't zoom. Oh well. No, we should not hit this again. Yep, I was right. Did not hit again. I'm gonna go here. Something in this situation, I think it is the score. What is it? Score condition is failing. In the game plan UI manager .cs line 401, it runs all the way through this situation, but does not continue the loop through the rest of the situations in this game plan. I think it is triggering an update callback, which it should not be doing during data load, and that callback is failing. All right, let's see if giving AI enough information will get me headed in the right direction, because I really think the problem is, so like this is failing, but also leads me up to leading that it has something to do with it. See how this says error creating or updating game plan? I'm just loading the game plan. There should be no update happening here. So I think what's happening is it goes into this enumeration, it blows up trying to update it, and it shouldn't be. This whole section here should not be occurring at all at this point. During load, we should never be calling back. So I think we need to pin down why it's triggering the callback. I don't think I'm fixing this tonight, because I don't like to work late on Fridays, because this is kind of like, you know, my well, it's the Sabbath. And I always kind of chuckle, because most people think, oh, you're Jewish, and I was like, no, but it is something I feel like, I think God had the right idea when he gave us the Sabbath. He wants us to rest. He wants us to get off the work, get off those things that are straining our brain, and just rest, relax, find your own way of stress and relaxing. And I enjoy this, but I think, like it is now, I don't rest to the point I probably should. I mean, I think there's a lot of little parts I do recognize with the Sabbath, but there's some stuff that our day and age makes it really difficult to not do. Like, for example, I think one of them is having other people work, right? So you're not supposed to make other people work. So I try not to, like, I won't hire anybody to come work at my house on Sunday or Saturday. I won't hire people to come work. If they say, oh, I can do it Saturday, I'm like, no, I'm not doing Saturday. So that's, when it's something I can control, I try to, I won't do it. But if there's so many things that are ambiguous, and I don't worry about that. Like if I buy something online, I guess it's possible somebody's working, but the fact is they're already working. I'm not making them work. They're already there. If they're working, they're working. I'm just buying this thing online, and they shouldn't be doing it, but that's more on them, I think, than on me. I'm not, because you can get an online order on a website and not deal with it until I do it. I've done it all the time. I get an order on my products, and I don't ship them until Monday. I mean, it's not like you can ship them anyway, right? Well, I guess during the holidays you can. But I just don't deal with it on Saturday. So yeah, you won't get a shipping notification from me on a Saturday. But that said, I where I control it, I will, but otherwise, I don't. And there's a lot of other things that people take to the limit, like I even there was times when people would ask God or Jesus silly things in the Bible, like, well, I saw this person, he was feeding his animals on the Sabbath, and Jesus is like, yeah, they need to eat too. they were doing some kind of work that they had to do, and he was just saying, yeah, you need, there are things that have to be done. I mean, what can you do? You still got to prepare food for your family and stuff. I mean, yeah, that's work, but the idea is that you're not spending all day. Don't create elaborate meals. Take it easy. Enjoy your day. Watch TV, read, play video games. I think that's. I've actually gone out and done sports. I like to go out and just play some tennis with friends. That's work in a different way, but it's also not work. Like, I won't go practice tennis. I won't go to the gym and get better shape for tennis. But if a friend or somebody wants to go play pickleball or something, that to me, that's stress relief. That's like doing the enjoyable part of all the stuff you've worked in the past. The recreation part of the work. So I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just everybody's to their own. Some people don't care about the Sabbath. And I'm just telling you, that's why I stopped working on Fridays and then start playing video games. All right, so it says it fixed, but did it? Let's see what the explanation is for what it did. Let's close this thing. All right. Now we're going to open this one. This is what it says it did. All right, so let's see. Let's see. For each game plan and game plan to display, it's doing a numerical count instead of a change. It's changing it from a each one in the game situation or in the game plan list, which is weird. I don't know why. That works. I don't know why that's a problem for each. It's doing a count on the count. I think it did this already. I don't think this is the problem. In fact, I think it's going back and forth. I think it did this and then it undid this. I think this is one of those that went down the rabbit hole, so now it's trying to fix. So I'm pretty sure this isn't going to do anything for me. Did it make any other changes? No, that's it. All it did was change how that code is called. Let's see what his explanation is. Score condition field. Added callback. Suppression during initialization. Oh. Added suppress callbacks, Boolean flag. Set suppress callbacks equals true before adding UI and initialize. Game plan converted for each to. Why did it convert that? So, did it fix? Oh, it did something up here. This is the one that said it added a suppression. Suppress callbacks. I think this is more likely to work. I don't know. Why did it do this one? It triggers the on value callbacks. Call notify change, which invokes autosave. Autosave was modifying the collection while we were still iterating through it. By suppressing callbacks during initialization, the for loops provide additional safety against any other potential collection modification issues. Does it? I don't like that. I actually prefer non-numeric. If you have fixed item loops where they're not going to change. If you're not going to change the items in the loop at all during the processing, I think it's more efficient to just run through every item in the list. It's going to just read them. It's going to have them. You're going to have the actual object. You're not going to be trying to track counters. It's just, to me, it's more efficient. It's cleaner, and it makes more sense. When you start using counters like I, and say for I equals the number of items in the list, and then you go through and then you have to set it, and you have to set it to the array, and you use the I to get the right one, and it's clunkier. There's more code, and it's just not as clean looking. And I think it's probably even less performant. It has to be, I feel like. So I'm not actually a huge fan of that change. I'm gonna X that change. I don't like that one. We're gonna say no to that change. But I'm gonna keep the suppressed callbacks and see what that does. It makes sense. The suppressed callback sounds like something that's actually addressing the problem. AI likes to try to address problems that don't exist. Trust me. Oh, it's terrible. AI does some really goofy things. It loves to put in conditional catches for things. Like, let's say, for example, what if this value is null? We'll just make it a silent thing. We'll put in a log or something. Maybe it doesn't even do a log, but it'll just say, if this is null, do this. And now you don't know it's null unless you look at the logs, because it'll silently skip over that thing. Or you look at the screen and go, wait a minute, there's supposed to be something there. You have to identify it. And sometimes those things are important, like the game won't function without certain values, but it silently kills it because it's like, oh, well, this could be null. Let's make sure that don't happen. Or it's like, no, I don't like to put in conditionals that catch nulls or empties unless a null or empty is a valid option. But the thing is, usually I'll figure out the problem. I'll get the error, then I deal with it. Because I say, okay, oh, well, I have to allow that to be null or empty because it's okay. Or maybe I'll have it put in some other values, which is what I prefer, rather than just silently not happening. Oh, no, I'll just put this was empty and go on to the next thing. It's like, no, I need it to go kaboom. Show me a big red error, and then I'll decide how I want to handle that, because sometimes it's important. And that's just one of the things, but it does it a lot. It does it everywhere. It likes to put in error killers, and then you don't know if something that's important is getting killed unless you happen to notice that it's not processing the way it's supposed to. So just keep an eye out for that nonsense. AI likes to do that. This is probably the last change for tonight. I really do have to call it and start doing, study some of my lines, just so I feel more confident tonight, because we're supposed to be off book. I do know most of my lines. Let's just put it this way. I will start every line, no problem. Now, will I finish every line? No. There might be some that my brain goes, I might lose a word or two. Some of them I know great. And once I get the rhythm going, I just say it. I'm good. A lot of times for me, it's starting. And the other problem is, these are long, right? So some of my some of my lines are really big. And the big problem with that is if I stop or pause in between, it doesn't sound natural. You want to speak like you're talking, like you're just talking. Stopping and kind of going, what was the next line? Oh, yeah. So you have these periods. Like I run to the periods, not to the end of the line. This is Shakespeare. A lot of people will speak to the end of a line, and then they pause and go to the next line. And, they just read it like it's like a line by line. You're supposed to try to be natural, but I'm pretty natural through the periods. Anyway, so let's see what this does. I don't know what it's going to do. It looks like it didn't load. It still failed. So I'll have to keep troubleshooting that. But till next time, God bless.